Hand-eye coordination. Seems like a pretty good one. I want to investigate this mystery. It's still low, but worth a shot. Okay.
Yes?
I think he's figured this out by now. Horse-faced woman. Hey, don't be like that. The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notices you.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now. I'm definitely not the cavalry. I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you?
I bring word of the end to come. Not sure I get the Apocalypse Cop options quite yet. It'll happen.
No, you haven't wronged me. It's okay.
Something changes in her. It's pity. Pity comes over her.
Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want?
How do cops talk to each other? You're the police, right? Cool. Same. I think that's it. That's how cops talk. Fucking deranged lunatic. The sunglasses wearing man pushes through his teeth. You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation. Maybe you're doing something wrong. Yeah, this was the right answer all along. Don't say anything, Judith. What are you, the police, doing here? Something about the man with sunglasses and you, the energy between you two, is making her uncomfortable.
You look like shit.
Your ruffled face reflects from the man's sunglasses.
And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
Looks don't matter. It's what's on the inside that counts.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm going by here.
Come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
It's not just this week. What do you want?
Scans you from head to toe. Something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar, but different face. He could be wearing a disguise. Esprit de corps. I can buff that with clothes for sure.
Again. I can't believe this shit.
He shakes his head, looking like he really is having trouble believing this shit. Let's give this a shot. You know what it is. Looks like the two of you know each other. Ask him. Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere. Another life. Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the, he pauses. To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? Should I know the answer to this? Sorry, cop is still so high. Oh no. I don't know the answer. Hypothetical 4-1. Let's fantasize about it. I'm not busy. You're not busy. Let's play around. Let's be crazy and say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? Kim's cooler than you. Nah, let's be nice. Be nice to this guy? Let's be nice to Kim. I'm not your partner, he says quickly. This union is temporary. Ouch. Little premonition for you, Lieutenant. Sooner or later, probably sooner, your new friend tells you he doesn't need you. He will then suggest that you should fuck off. When that happens, I suggest you take his advice. The lieutenant merely bows his head in response. Who is the far-out son of Lung? It's you, you eccentric genius. He winks sarcastically. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it's gotta be you. It's an urban myth. Kitsuragi says quietly. About an officer who's so far undercover, he can't remember who he is. Like I said, just an urban myth. You're not the son of Lung. Trying to protect you from further rough handling doled out by this sunglassed man. You get the joke. Do you have a crime to solve? No. See, I enjoy watching other, better cops solve crimes. Let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work. This isn't helping, says the horse-faced woman, shaking your head disapprovingly. Feels like he saw something, a gram of compassion in that sadness. As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response, waiting for something to click. It's not happening. Kim is not getting involved. It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses and the woman beside him. Oh boy, they're mad at him. No wonder. He just doesn't recognize them. I look like Guillaume Le Million. You will not start blabbering about that, asshole. Why not? It's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging? I'm trying, dude. Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head. It's like he felt it would be intellectually stimulating and might lead somewhere. A custom, even? Hey, maybe it's because we used to be partners. Something we're missing here, something you can't quite put your finger on. Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at, but still.
Again, I can't believe this shit.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He's a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something like that. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you. My esprit de corps is not quite high enough. Where is that here? There. Do I just buff hand-eye coordination? I wanna solve the puzzle. Keep taking shots at this bullet. Rhetoric is good too, though. Yeah, sure. Oof. Is that? Could it be the Col de Mamadaqua? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear. Seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring, ultrasonic. Lena said it was high-pitched, right? It's like something tickles your ear. And also said it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird. Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum of the industrial harbor, the traffic. But admittedly, there is a high-pitched noise somewhere, too. But then isn't there always? You heard it, the mysterious Col de Mamadaqua. You're certain you did. Well, maybe not quite certain. Let's say you're hopeful, because it would make you very special to be the only human being who can hear this invisible, incorporeal bird, this animate whisper, this particle of sound. You're gonna have to keep listening. Sharpen your ear. Armor was produced by Fairweather in Betancourt-sur-Leclerc in 42. Part of a special order for the Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Orangese pharmaceutical companies in the Semenine conflict. So it seems the armor went to Semenine, and that's where the paper trail ends. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times in the years since the armor was issued. The most recently registered firm the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Krenel. The one before it was Downwell. They might be the same contractor. A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind, because it's fucking gigantic. She had asked for whom this suit was fitted. ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. Try to talk them into it though. This is a fun challenge for her, an opportunity to contribute beyond just doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM. Call back tomorrow. Okay. What else have I got going on? Ask the girl in the fishing village about the armor. Find a ball. Oh, talk to her. Forgot about that one. Should remember that I need to make like $2 to sleep again. Easy money. This medicine cabinet is full of wares, sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. Toothbrush has been used. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet and pill bottle upon pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners. Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoparidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. The label reads Nacra. This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around. Whisper, Nacra, opioid antagonist. Interesting. It's used for diamorphine overdoses. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Godwallian, marked red blister packs you find... What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. Sweaty hands. Red check. What's so exciting about this orange bottle? It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders, but what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed. Time to buff interfacing, I suppose. Red check. It'll be a little bit embarrassing if my partner catches me trying to steal speed. But, you know, you do what you gotta do. Silently, the bottle slides into your palm. Then, as you turn, into your pocket. Feels so sleek and beautiful. Time to become a super detective again, Harry. So what does speed do? +1 motorics, -1 morale. Not bad. Drugs raise learning caps, but they're bad for your health. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges, but the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fracture. The lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface. Did I fail a visual calculus check? Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. Wow. Missed a 92%. The wind brushes them off the roof, they're gone. I suck.
Welcome to the roof.
The young woman has a cigarette in one hand, a cup of coffee in the other. Her hair is still slick. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Proceed politely, proceed in a rush.
It's much nicer now. Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
Something in her light brown eyes, a sadness, when she thinks about the death of that man. That's weird. Let's be polite.
Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell is opened in there.
Disco Infernum. Hell, you know not of which you speak. There are vortices of dark energy present, but not to hell, to another place. A third place, much different from our world.
A third place? Interesting. That's probably why the cleaning lady quit.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
Have I ever? Have you grown accustomed to your role as a police officer? Like riding a capo cycle.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Ah, I see.
She takes a pensive drag of her menthol cigarette. What could she be thinking of? It's hard to say. Her shoulders are relaxed, her eyes on the cigarette. Klash Amandu. What is orange? That's not a good question. 28 years old. RNG's literature. It's what I studied at the university. She raises both eyebrows. What's the literature about? Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be RNGs. All national literatures are. Only the name of the nation changes. If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove. How do you make money then? Money is very important. Show her some money. She looks to the black note in your hand. I made more money just by being than I have with RNG's lit. Being many things. A roller skating instructor, secretary, Miss Orange 37. Now there's something you should linger on. Wouldn't it be inappropriate to linger? It's a beauty pageant. She was 14 at the time. Cool. I disapprove of this custom. I don't think I've ever been 14. I don't think I've ever heard anything less relevant to any investigation. It's okay, he's just getting his bearings. The world of beauty pageants is bewildering. I'm not gonna ask for her passport or what Orange is, come on. It's a country somewhere. She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered. She looks around. The sun has risen over the sea. People are rushing to work below. It is. It's murderously early. I'm amazed that I'm awake. Why am I even awake? She draws out the word. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him. By him, she means the victim. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more rapeable. By they, she means the Hardy Boys. Are you saying that you were asked to tell us that you were assaulted? Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery, sexual assault maybe. We'd clear the latter. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Titus asked you to spice things up for us? Pretty much. She must be very cold and exhausted of life. Are you sure that you weren't raped? I'm 89% sure. 89% is good enough. You know how it is. Do you? Maybe you don't. There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy to see now that you've gotten closer. In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped. Sexual assault is a serious matter. I need a serious statement from you. Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be this flippant if I had been? So what did happen? We partied. Where have I heard that before? You heard it from Titus, about her and Titus's relationship. With all due respect, we partied a little bit harder than that. No one parties harder than me. What else besides drinking? Stimulants, speed, makes you drink harder. And drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be. Met downstairs at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. He had a cool, scary scar. This was a month ago. This is a bit obvious. I wasn't present when they did it. Don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. Starting to get confusing for you too. We don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night? I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie. He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. You probably know all about it. Think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines and against the Union. He didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. I understood it was dangerous. Well, she doesn't seem to know much at all. She's the one who called us to get rid of the body. Ding ding ding. She tampered with the whirling landline. Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. I don't know why I did it. It was stupid. I was drunk. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires. As he says so, you feel a young woman looking at you, and you get a feeling you can't quite put your finger on. A suspicion? He finds this answer unsatisfying. The Antistar is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. Did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse. Cool, I took some of your drugs for my personal use. That's an aggressive thing to say. Volition, legendary. Look her in the eye. Wait, check. Can I even buff my Volition? I'm not sure. Do personal stuff when Kim's not here. I see. Can I buff Volition? Doesn't look like it.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit. Air moves in your windpipes, your heart beats. You're a detective. Get back to detecting. Looking at people is hard.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. half their reasoning just went out the window.
Nothing's gonna make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Your decision not to corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. If you wouldn't have known, I would have. It was a smart move from her. She seemed unusually forthcoming. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. Best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
I've got nothing to say to you.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
This goes without saying, but don't give out the witness's name. Just say it. Glenn looks around uncomfortably. Lieutenant hit a nerve. Shanky, it's Shanky, right? He doesn't wait for an answer. Thought there was something wrong about this lynching story. Now I know there was. Y'all know shit. I know you're lying, Shanky. For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her. That is one way to interpret what he just said. Shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He's out of his fucking mind. You have no idea. She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't trust you. She's crazy, you know? She's a crazy bitch. She's fucked up. This is a diversion. Stay on track. Cut the bullshit. She told me the truth. Well, man, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her. You went and pushed her. Something breaks in him. He takes a step closer and says, I am going to fucking hit you. Duck. Titus Hardy. Her voice rings through the room like a warning shot. Everhart personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood? When she's angry, she emphasizes the S, gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Someone has to rush in to break the tension, the second in command. Look, Copper, says Alan. Tattooed man snaps his fingers to get your attention. We know the dead fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, see? Here, jerkwad. He slams an audio tape on the table. Listen to this shit. Then come back and tell me the soldier of apocalypse was an innocent man. This is their last play, this tape. Their story's in tatters, it's a mess. Might be nice to listen to, but at this point you don't need to. You don't care about evidence? Fuck you a cop for it then. Pigs, too, they don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They're keeping score on their bulletin boards. Won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about. A lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, they'll have nothing to hide behind. Magnetic tape acquired from Titus Art. Supposedly holds a recording of the mercenary task force radio communications recorded via a de-encryption station. Not a good omen. Requires a boombox. Fortunately, I bought one. It's so loud. You push commencer, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air. This isn't Revachol, says a man's voice. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants. The harbor. Kim takes out his notebook. That's the sound of a Kvalsund crane. Valsund? More static. This shit's done. I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna rent a room, Cordy, a real nice one. This part's unintelligible. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. Sounds like me. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dancer whore upstairs. Do it Lee Schmin style. A click, then silence. The lieutenant presses the button marked Arate on your portal reel. The tape stops spinning. Seemed authentic enough, probably recorded off their shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. It sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. There's more going on here than we know. Cordy's one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Lee Schmin is a village on the Samaran Isla in TNN. Grodd committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he was talking about. This may contradict her testimony.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
This does not surprise her. Did he? A smile flits across her face. I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions, only that he was never bad to me. She doesn't care. If anything, she's amused. It's the intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via de-encryption station. It's authentic enough. Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? That was practically his pickup line. Memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Elysium style? He wasn't actually there. He didn't do it to her, at least he didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Elysium. He's in his everything. No, I'm pretty sure he did all those things, then integrated them into his idea of normalcy to keep on living. Until they just sort of turned into his, what's the word I'm looking for? She's quite observant about the human character. Trained to observe, even. Coping mechanism? Catchphrase? Persona? Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. Sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. It was like the Seminoles conflict, the Leishman massacre, and the 36 Famine and Yusut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orange's ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower. Gross. Afraid of what? The tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Leishman. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Did he tell you he'd actually done any of those things here in Martinez? No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of this fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess, at ease, as much as a man like him could be. I don't know his name, I just called him Lily. I guess it was a nickname. He came from Lillistad, short for that, and it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. Tried to pry it out of him, there's no use. Lillistad, that's a good start. Lieutenant writes it down in his notebook. Then tears out a page, hands it to you. We have a few questions you can help us with, a few things a field autopsy alone can't answer. The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant has passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh. He was 42. Exactly my guess. He had many scars that made him appear older, but no. We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me. Looks like you were right, officer. Points are good. Have one, you old dog. She's sensing something. A spike in testosterone levels, maybe. Light blue eyes. They were like little blue galaxies. You know, strange seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly, and he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, but with all the scarring. It was quite something watching him speak. He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth. Yes, severe. Made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes. Yeah, his hair, if you can remember. It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. Couldn't convince him to leave it alone. Imagine him lying in bed, freakish musculature laid out on the sheets, scarred, of course, tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason. Is this RNG's lit? Yes, this is the essence of RNG's lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself. She leans even further back to demonstrate. He's smoking and drinking, of course, and his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, maybe thousands. The woman goes like... She points at the air with her sharp-nailed finger, picking out an imaginary tattoo star. "What was this, babe?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, babe?" And he's like, "Saw some bad shit there, killed some loincloths." And so it goes, star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country, and he's done horrible things in every single one of them. Oh yeah. She does not take the photo. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them. He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orange needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer for money. He went to Killer Academy in Redfort, and he killed some people on the 17 Islands, and on the other islands too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself. It's a fun story when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. Change of topic. Perhaps, miss, it was communism that killed him. Kitsuragi blinks. Let's see where this is going. Cool. Or to the talk screen, what's it going to show us? A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals is what I would bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does that talk screen cost? The police of Revachol. Do it for half of that. Save you some money. It's quite expensive, miss. The Leatherstad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat. No love for Mother Orange? Wasn't he a soldier? That could be worth pursuing. Now he left the national service after they taught him to do what he did on Semenine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money from killing people kind. He's by no means a stupid man. A people person, a small platoon leader, not a patriot. Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up. A moment ago it was love. No, I don't think the Union is communist. A couple shades pinker than that. They're not hardcore in that way, is what I'm trying to say. What are we talking about anyway? This politics shit is a lot in the morning. Is it even morning? She's just tired. She doesn't know what you meant by that. Can you blame her? The lieutenant puts the slip back in his notes and observes the young woman for a moment. Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself some more coffee. Wait, stop. That man bloated beyond all recognition was 42. Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality, he was 42 years old. How old are you? That's where this is going. Could ask either one of them. How old do I look? You look 58. That's really old. Actually, make that 54. Alcoholism has severely impacted your appearance. And I was wrong about the age of the deceased. This requires scientific measurements. I am not afraid of the truth. Date of birth generator. Ada Star says, "Hey Otter, what's this game?" This game is called Disco Elysium. It's a psychedelic murder mystery adventure game. And it's quite good so far. I'm playing as this attractive young man who is maybe about a week off being dead from liver failure. Somewhat of an alcoholic cop. And I got a killing to solve, so that's what I'm gonna do. Gosh darn it.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
He tenses immediately. Chest tightens, jaw sets. He's ready for another blow. That fucking fucker. He stares at his beer for 2 seconds intently, then turns to you. You're the worst cop in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape. Fucker wasn't aimed at you, it was at her. It's just locker room talk. Fucking fuckity fucker. He shakes his head in disbelief. What'd she say then? That it's fine? People are supposed to be like that? Did not come as a surprise to her, and she wasn't scared. She thought it was funny. Titus mumbles, his lips barely moving. No good goddamn psycho whore. Seemed like I wanted to give Klausha a second chance to play along, and she still didn't. Alright, all fucking righty then. Guess it's good then. That fucking... Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus. Her voice is a bit softer than earlier. She feels bad for him. Titus rubs his chin with his palm, as if trying to grind it smooth. This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman? You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match. She's a hardcore party girl with a bigger death wish than mine. That's pretty harsh coming from Harry. You were more disturbed by the tape than she was. So now you remember how to do your job. So sick of this piss. We should get something harder in here. Yeah, guys, we should get a party going tonight. Maybe not. They admitted to unlawful collaboration to derail the investigation. I already told you, we fucking hanged him. There's less gusto in his voice now. His men, too, are growing increasingly silent. Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired, so am I. Why don't you just You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said fuck off. Throws his beer can down. That lying, scamming, we're done. This is over, you understand? Your little investigation is over. Just silence in the room. Alan starts saying something, then thinks better of it. On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it. What is this quiet funeral shit? What we need is some beers in us. He looks around. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union. Why don't we make it 40, huh? The man shouts from behind the counter. Why don't we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough. 100 beers, now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager. The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they're gonna be. Rhetoric, heroic. Ooh, I pushed Titus on the tape. That hurts me here. Convince Titus he's being manipulated. I can buff my rhetoric, right? Maybe not.
It's you again. What is it?
Oof. I'm gonna tell you a little story about Kim here. A story that fits the occasion. Of course, I invented a wonderful allegory for all this. No. There's no story. See, Kimothy here got himself into a jam. let's not do stories. Don't listen to him. This is gold. That's got didactic. Kimmo got to thinking he could trust this bad chick because she was so hot. So he asked her to lie for him. She promised she would, then ratted him out and almost cost him his job. You got his attention. Now reward it with a metaphor. You got played, huh? She played Kim like a miniature train set. A miniature train set. Point is, this allegorical Kim should have just told the truth. Needs to man up and take charge, little guy. Shit's gotta be equal in a couple. Listen to your buddy Titus here. Please understand that Kim in this story was an allegory for you. You should not try to hide the truth. This man would rather live in a fantasy world where he is not a complete loser. Need to be more forceful next time. Rhetoric. I have a time window on this. Damn. I need some easy levels. Buff rhetoric and try that again pretty quick. Where's the easy money at?
Officer! God damn it, pull yourself together, René. What do you want?
So the old XP. Ding ding ding. If you ever need to get to the coast, this is the way. Please continue your wanderlust for now. I don't want us to get sidetracked. Focus on one thing, achieve it, then the next. That's the task chain. Couldn't agree with you more, Kim. I'm buffing rhetoric and take another crack at that Titus Hardy fella.
It's you again. What is it?
Dang, I suck. No, Glenn, I want to hear this. Who do you think is fiddling me? Who do you think? Grins sagely. I think you're losing it, Fiddleman. No, this fucking clown is trying to get to me. It's not gonna work on Titus Hardy. Put that fiddle down or walk away, it's that simple. He'll put the fiddle down, he turns to you. Put it down, officer. I don't understand. This fiddle play totally fell apart. The concept was solid, but the delivery, tragically off. You sounded like a madman, not a cop. Alright, I did my best. It's time to hit the harbor. Do I have something to talk to Joyce about? There's more lorry drivers, I guess.
Looking for something, Hunt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
Perhaps it's good to agree to get him talking. South near the canal. Is it this guy? Oh yeah. See a Sumerian street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Silang is embroidered above his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here. Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer. You're very cool.
He makes both hands into finger guns and fires a few finger bullets into the air. Dude, he's right. I am cool. This is awesome. You feel it twitch in your index fingers as a finger shoot out a Bruin. I gotta whip him out.
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here, or just a shakedown? Good one, officer. You're a funny guy. Now, what can I do for you? Then fire away, officer.
My high rhetoric is gonna help me out again. Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember? You seem like a really successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of the local police force? Think of it as a bribe. How much are we talking about here? Nice. I'm not into drugs. Drugs ruin lives, unless you are into drugs, in which case, drugs are excellent. Tasty, tasty drugs. A blatant lie, sire, yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better. Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater. Nah, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. Alright, maybe I'm a lorry driver. A little. It's not the most important thing about me, it's my day job. This is my dream. He spreads his arms. He wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd. Doesn't want to talk about them. He's scared. What are you afraid of, Silang? Look. He looks around and lowers his voice. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up. Here we go. There's a little tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it. It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys? Could be. He's not rolling her out. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with a funky sunglasses detective, both of you. You deserve it. This man probably comes from Sigay, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isla. Apricot suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Seaguy archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words. Sorry? I am not a sorry cop. Why not support this local entrepreneur? You could start by buying a pair of sexy pants, or some cool sunglasses, maybe some macaroni. Yeah, I guess I could spend some of the money he just gave me. That was some good progress there. I could go talk to the lady again. Now we have a lead.
Huh? What is it? What do you want?
I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. Doesn't work like that on the long haul. I'm only terrifying to small children, and to those who used to know me. It's not her. How should I know? I look like I spend a lot of time with the other Kamenyers, sniffing around when I have my movies to go to. Why am I scared of the people who used to know me? Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. It ain't her. Apricot chewing gum scented one. Let's think about my ex. August 2nd, early late summer. You're getting off the streetcar in Le Jardin, east of the river. Her father and mother are middle class. The nylon of her little jacket rustles next to you in the dark, like autumn leaves. Her heels click on the pavement. You're walking up to the gate in front of her parents' house. She takes out her chewing gum, and you kiss her. A feeling like electricity flows through her whole body. Your whole body. Immediately, you know you've entered a completely different world. +2 perception. Betrayal lingers everywhere. Well, rolled her out. I got a lady driver to find. Let's ask this boy.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Tommy Laham shifts around, suddenly uncomfortable, then looks away. I don't want to talk about it. She's not around anymore. She's not some evil drug trafficker. I don't know where she is. You would have caught a lie, but a kind heart is trickier. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something, he didn't share it with you. That's a fact. Youngish woman, gruff in a cool way. Blue and violet dyed hair. Just let it go. Whatever she did, can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over and you're looking for a way out. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. She told me too. She's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her. Push Tommy and it'll break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals. Force him? I just bother the racist for this information. I'm sure he'll be
Looking for
fine.
something, Runt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Rivershoal West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything. You mean La Puta Madre, a legendary, not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock, controls what's probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in Rivershoal West. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this. I presume you're familiar with his peones? Yeah, he says, unsure where this is leading. There's little bitches. He's got them all over the unions. Not just the unions. He has peones everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. He gets closer to him. 30 fucking peones to do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts. The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into it. You're not peones, he says. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were. No, of course not. We're not peones, but if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peone's job to find out who that is. He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all. Look at him lurching. It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. He looks at him. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief. His eyes dart between you and the lieutenant. I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carter's Guild. Seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there? Did his shitty little guild protect him? Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you, tries to light a fresh cigarette, but his hands are shaking now. The sentence simply ends. Lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. Softened him up, best as I could. It's on to you to finish the job. Man's still got some fight in him. It won't be easy to break him. Half-light. My half-light is so bad. But it's a white check. I could just break Tommy. But let's give this a shot. Let's give this a shot. See if I can buff half-light first. Indeed I can.
Looking for something, Runt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
Unlucky. Some kind of homo thing? Yeah, maybe it is. That's enough, detective. Let's just go ask Tommy. Well, I could try to buff half-light, but my half-light's pretty shit. Maybe I just need to break Tommy's spirit and not be friends with him anymore. Racist didn't give up the goods. Or did I just change?
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Alright, sorry, Tommy. Something breaks in him as he stares into your eyes. The realization that you've used his friendliness and goodwill for your own ends. He takes a keyring from his pocket, then looks at it before giving it to you in silence. The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex, looks like a chain lock. The lorry is still here, down past the statue of Philippe. Cabin's green. You can get in there with these. So left last Friday. He blinks, his eyes half empty now. This green Felm AZ Contemporain is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days. This is the one our man pointed to. Lieutenant peeks inside. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters, actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat, and some tools lie scattered near the pedals. Something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films, from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of ambrette wafting through the bitter air of the cabin. Remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Grenat number 5. Probably Mambo number 5. The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. Doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't quite put a finger on whom exactly. This is Tip Tijan, a starlet from dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death. She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street. A mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera, too. The actresses and the rare actor all smile you a warm goodbye. Radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. Requires a key to work, but the key has been removed. Kim leans closer to the radio. Strange. There's so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100. Looks like we're dealing with an impressive organizational tool, the nerve center of a huge operation with quite the range. 20-kilometer range at least. Sandpaper adds grip. Ho ho ho. Women. Always up to something. Voila. A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen. Bon prix. The lieutenant commends you as you shift through the treasure, well worn and folded into neat squares. This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. Looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock. This person knows them all. There are hundreds of thousands of motor carriages. Hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the massive brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. Commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield. The road leads to Quran, to the middle-income neighborhoods there by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, right adjacent to the 41st. No storm will ever drown Revachol, the great solution to the riddle of history. Final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of motorway 881. Few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewer service near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway. Smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to the East Motor Tract. So it would seem. Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. Stop acting like you're not impressed, Kim. Those are some awesome names. And it's not the Union, they just do some logistics. This operation is spread everywhere in Jamrock. Madre is the most likely suspect. He's bad news. Sometimes the sound effects are so loud. It's an issue of Peripherique from last Wednesday. Looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. The Ulan frequency system? Never heard of it. I'm not smart enough to have any more insight into that.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
I'm quite worried about what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net. Not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. And the maps we found, they reveal some geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads. It's useful info. Last but not least, looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know she was at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been looking for. Probe and the case have converged, he thinks. This was quite the find. What about the movie posters? As elegant as they are, I don't think they're connected. Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role. A lot of women there. Unimportant. Alright, we've got our info for Joyce. All we have to do is break Tommy's heart. Pay that price any day.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate it. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They're meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering. Krenel, an RNG's military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they don't answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-auto weapons, and years of combat training. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment. Story is one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the Whirling in Rags and lynched last Sunday night. Whirling in Rags. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I've not been able to discuss this matter with anyone. The remaining 2 colonel contractors carry out their orders for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they're conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow. The nature of this investigation is whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants. This is not disco at all. This is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond. You ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty. The Surrey's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate a hive of 20,000 in less than 4 hours. These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't even have guns. Like I said, bloodbath. Too many things have gone wrong. Nameless, badgeless detective of the Citizens Militia. All we can do, is keep that which is not from following suit. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse the situation. His name was Lely. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. He was 40 or 50. Matches what we heard. He was RNG's. He had learned to speak through the injury. Bleh. Downwell boasts a long list of clients: St. Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Indract. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries, guarding facilities, escort missions, and such. Meaning they're used to working in a war zone. All the good conflict corridors: Supermundi, Yisut, the Semines Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, don't have the resources. Still have access to the ICP's database. You could run a better background check than I could. Might take some time though. They think you're vigilantes. One is the scab leader at the harbor gates, the one chanting idiotic slogans. The other has a vantage point in the building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers. Matter of days. Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. Sorry, I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. I can't. That's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, or anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. Close, port cities. This is an RNG's map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the DeLorean century 300 years ago. The sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. Said you can't read it. I can't. This man was no sailor. These are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning. In Martinez looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside there's a siren, distant gunshots in the streets of the Jamrock Quarter. She remains unfazed by me talking about his soul. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography. Nowhere in particular. It's what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit. You're a big dick cop? Dick Mullen. Slum Rocky Bye. Badass. On the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world, it's on. That sounds like me. Maybe the new info from Joyce will give me a better shot at Titus. If not, I can level up, it looks like.
It's you again. What is it?
Nope, it's locked. Oh, it did give me another shot at it. Convince Titus he's being manipulated? Bad idea. Bringing her up will do no good. Should know by now, Titus will never falter. One of his boys will. Just remember, it's about more than Klasha. It's about these men in Martinez, their district, their responsibility. He'll get it. Go on. Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you. Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because of some chick. A wince. It's involuntary. Bring that up one more time and you won't get to write that report, says Alan. So I understand, Alan. That's your name, right? Alan, you're gonna kill us. That's what they do in the wild north. It wasn't that, we just couldn't get him down, okay? That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Officer, you will be next if we don't shut up. Firearm. He knows what you're trying to do. Shut up, Angus. Little guy hits Angus on the back of the head. Thea, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I got this under control. Does he? His closed fist is shaking. You're the one in control. Let them have their moment. Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? See you, Lizzie. Clash came down. She seemed really out of it, drugged up more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know, not in a fun way. Looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario, except in reverse. You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're on the bench. You keep taking it easy too, Angus. It's okay with the fat man. Couldn't speak if he wanted. Well, we went upstairs. Sure as day, Merc was dead. There's a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere. Tibbs patched the window, and the corpse we hanged. Nah, Tibbs is my brother. It's okay for there to be a hardy girl, Titus. Nope. Hardy boys. That's it. Titus, not as dumb as he looks. Clash came to Martinez to hide, like a lot of us did. This is where you wash up and there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. She refused that protection, but you would still prefer it if we didn't take her away. That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, the place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers. What do I want to level up? Volition, so I can look at her? Might not be bad. Damage. That's a start. Any items that improve it? Oh, I have some thoughts I wanted to add.
It's always good to see you.
Why'd you waste our time? Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They're trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into. You entered the coalition government, by extension the moral intern. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill. There's a wince and a pained little smile. Well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me. Actually, it did. That is a motherfucker. Ran into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there'd be people there. Run past them and out into the street where it's dark and people move, to the lorries at the intersection. As far as you can. What did I do? Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. Did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company, the kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting. The job was Louisduane County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Loose Gap conglomerate. That was the second job. First was some printer company you wouldn't know. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know, but they're after me too. Along with Loose Gap and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive. Loose Gap, these people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Eierberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products. Yeah, Papa fucking Lola wants to kill me. A lot of people got hurt. Just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. That's right, ma'am. One of them killed themselves because of me. She says it fast, like she said it 100 times. To herself, to get used to the idea. Out of guilt. I'm a cop. When I do something, it's right. Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. This Sylvie. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. Sat down, they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong. Leader of the Hardy Boys. Well, Ruby said, let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know? Take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower to keep him upright. To mislead you. We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death? About 20. Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lily in the bathroom. Had to put his clothes back on, his armor. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. Gotten him ready by then, they carried him out. I knew what they were going to do, make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that we should lay low or something, so I did. Haven't seen her since. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. Gunshot wasn't that loud. It's something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot. You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. They picked his clothes off, and the little fucker threw stones at him. Her jaw's clenched, her throat moves. Takes all her strength not to cave in and sob once, just one time. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud. She shakes her head. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Revachol. Yep, she called the cops. Okay. I believe you. Multi-face, I'm beginning to doubt your judgment. Are you sure you're not sleeping on the post? You have to wake this one up with force if you want to continue pushing her. Drama. I can buff my drama, right? If it weren't for her, he would not have been there. The shot would not have connected with his soft plate. What is communism in this? Lady's dangerous. People suffer around her. Did I learn anything new about the bullet? No. I could buff hand-eye again. Oh, my hand-eye is already so high. Seems like a bit of a waste.
Officer.
Drama, huh?
Officer. It's a fine day for questions.
Who, what? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. Probably didn't give you a real name either. Why would she? Arrest her at once before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Devil woman. It's a Grad name, not Occidental at all. I'll just call you Miss Orange Disco Dancing. This seems mean-spirited. I know the time of the call, too. She's pretending she didn't hear you say devil woman. Stern and merciless as we reel her in. I think I know who did it. I know who shot Lily. You know it wasn't me. Why would I do it? I have no motive. Gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her. It was Ruby. She has this thing for me ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants. I made the mistake of confiding in her. Told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. I started spending time with Lily. She told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but... I don't understand. The lieutenant sounds incredulous. He still has the cuffs in his hand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you? Well, she said she's in love with me. She asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm the fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship. You let her on a little. I was flattered, you know. Then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. Maybe we kissed, nothing more. I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow she knew Lily was dead. She wasn't surprised. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone. She cleaned it up like she had a plan. This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? She could have had access to the roof. You've noticed that door there, right? Maybe it leads downstairs. Something tells you, you will regret this. Yeah, she's gonna fly, huh?
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
The volition check is gone. Can't look her in the eye anymore. Physical instrument. Number of people connected to this case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant. Physical instrument. That is not a good check. Might hurt myself too. Let's learn a thought. Let's figure out how old I am. And Superstar Cop? Sure. The golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on a single bed. Like the witness said, the man's kneeling, the woman's on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him. From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. 72%. The weapon that fires jacketed ammunition, likely a rifle. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perp aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. That would explain why it only took one shot. Lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the dark, too busy with their own bodies. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the whole proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? Sure. You would need a map. Okay, let's get a map. My logic is suffering pretty badly from thoughts, huh? Being a superstar is just tough like that.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Bi...
You can retry this check? Wow. Come on, Kim. Don't be like that. According to your map of the district, the shot could have come from a wide angle of location, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call him B prime. B's for boardwalk. B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet detective. Maybe smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. Okay then. I have lots to talk to the Titus about still, huh?
It's you again. What is it?
I've seen her in a laudanum-induced delirium. The paranormal instinct whispers her name into my ear. My logic sucks now. Hey, why is Liz talking? I thought she left. There's a spooky building west of this. Take a flashlight with you, search the basement. Ho ho ho. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches, light yellow, faded with time. Tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, bronze key. It's close enough to the latch up there, one can slide it open and just take it. Not a coincidence. Workshop spare. Should probably check in on the borscht eaters later. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages. No, it smells like engine grease and cut wood. It's a workshop. Franco-Nigerian. The theme is horses and swords. Tell me more. All these mesmerizing machines just waiting to be plugged back in and played. Feels like I might jump back to life any moment, the lights illuminating the white-robed woman. Some sort of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst. What a dumb name, Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines right about now. Encyclopedia, red. If I finish this thought, I don't think I get to try it again, so good luck. Fuck. I'm rolling really badly today. It's strange he doesn't like pinball. Came here to see a light. His people are incredibly dexterous, and they all love pinball. Matter of fact, stop being racist. Okay, I don't like pinball because I had to learn to do it for an undercover job at a pinball ring. It's a lame, boring, unchallenging game. We can move on. Cash money. Okay. It appears he's being sarcastic. Hey, I can buff my hand eye. Missed my opportunity to know what his deal is with pinball. Feels bad. Big prints, most likely made by Boots. Size is hard to determine. One person has been here, they've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways. It was a stereo investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, adding a new fact to consider. It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route leading to the roof. The roof from where you can shoot the victim. This is significant. These prints could be the prints of our killer, and if not, at least they're a good argument for this Ruby doing it. Give that to Titus. You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere. Boring footprints. I want to jump to sensationalist conclusions. Folded M Dimension, a reference to the popular science fiction series In System. Look who's in a good mood suddenly and reads sci-fi.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Might need to buff logic now that I've destroyed it with my thoughts to get this Titus presentation to go through. Do I have anything new?
I can't believe this shit.
It's you again. What is it?
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its eerie blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought. That's what you're squinting at. Trying to come up with a theory, weren't you? That she did it. He was cobbling together shit so we could put her away. It's RCM 101. What old Titus set your mind at ease then? She didn't do it. She was here all night. She reeled herself up like some kind of kitten. Good idea. East Delta Pinball Arcade. Run by a fellow called Nightflocks or something, who wore a yellow dust coat, like the one you're wearing right now. Weird guy, never liked him. The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. can't scroll up. Breakthrough imminent. This key opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here with you guys all the time. Doesn't fit well. Let's give it another shot. Phase 2, murder weapon. I haven't really analyzed the bullet. What a moron. Shit. This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Awkward. Not a strong play. Girls like girls too, Angus. Sometimes, Kim explains. This is one of those times. It's been alluring for me too. It's a reality-breaking event. We just need to accept it. She probably went to a university and learned it from a liberal. Just gonna stick with what Kim said. Man, it's like female intuition, you know? Women talk to women. Eugene wants a woman on the team so they can do their job. That must be hard. Half of Martinez is female. Time for a logics demonstration. Yeah, I see it. One more thing I've been wondering about ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions if you want. I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just up and left. Got real scared too. Wouldn't tell me where, however hard I asked. Wanna know why? She's afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now I probably would. Ask her if you find her. Won't be easy though, she made sure of that. She left Friday afternoon when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town and she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. Yep, you. Cop with sideburns and the disco clothes. No wonder she's afraid. I have come to declare the ending of the human experiment. I have no idea why she'd be scared. I'm just a normal cop with regular thoughts in his head. On the coast, past the water lock. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there. Gardner may have played you when she pretended to storm out. She's got her own plan. Boyish, hair's red, dyed, looks like a lorryman. She said she's building a pale emitter. We're talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Yulin frequencies and a pale something. I don't know anymore. This guy barely understands what he's even saying. Well, there you have it, pale something. Yeah, sure, I'll shake Titus Hardy's hand. I want to shake your hand. Super cop. Super cop. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. So all this, you say? Fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists or prime ministers or prophets. And you're the first one. -1 logic, price of self-delusion. Learning caps for all this shit raised. Good for the long term, not so great in the short term, huh? Cold Mamadakwa. It's kind of a crazy person thing. So is doing finger guns at people. Maybe I'll hang on to that skill point. You know what? I'm getting pretty hungry. Been going for 3 hours. I'm gonna call it here. I'll try to go out to the coast, look for Ruby, and wrap this day up next time. Thanks for watching.